Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to be breaking down exactly how you can understand the simple secret to success. It's going to allow you to be more consistent. It's going to allow you to take that daily action that is needed. And it's going to allow you to build them habits that will genuinely change the rest of your life. Now, this one thing is simple, yes, but it is not easy, and that's exactly why most men don't do it. So let me just make myself smaller, and then we shall dive straight into this. So just before we do, it's actually the one thing that I implemented with my client Aaron that allowed him to drop 32 kilos in his first 6 months, and then allowed him to not only quit his job but also grow his business to over 6 figures within his first year. Now, that doesn't come without hard work. That doesn't come without a lot of effort, but it is definitely doable if that's what you are ready for. So if you want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, there is a cool link below. Book in and we'll figure out your one thing. But let's dive straight into it. The law of 100. As I said, it's simple. It's very, very simple, but it's definitely not easy. And when you know what it is and you know how to implement it, it's going to allow you to be consistent and take daily action continuously for long periods of time. And it will also allow you to build them keystone habits that genuinely will change everything. And that's why 100 days can reset the trajectory of the rest of your life. You might see extreme transformations with 100 days. Many of my clients have been through that themselves. But what's the one thing that allows the people that move forwards and the people that just retreat back? The big idea. You might be wondering, what is a keystone? So I just want to go through this first. A keystone habit is the one that moves everything else or holds everything else together. And it's the one thing that if you do it for 100 days with absolutely no exceptions, and you let consistency compound into your identity change, that identity change will last with you for the rest of your life. So what is a keystone habit? So just going back to Roman days, you may or may not have seen Roman arches. Okay, it's a concession. It's almost like a pile of rocks. And they are built one by one from the bottom up. Now what happens is these rocks then slowly come together. People hold them together as well. And then when they get to the top, there is one keystone in the center right there that stops them from falling forwards, from falling backwards, and allows that structure to stay strong for the rest of time. You remove that one rock, the whole thing falls. You put that rock in, the whole thing stays together. And that is what we need to focus on. That one habit will positively affect so many areas of your life, you wouldn't even be able to believe it. And if you just stick to that, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you stick to that, surprise, surprise, everything else will make a big difference. And when we're talking about everything else, and we're going back to that analogy, everything else is all them other rocks that are built up to that one thing. But that one thing at the top is holding everything together. So for example, it could be waking up at 5 a.m. every day. It could be a daily gym session, or it could be 100 cold calls every day to try and grow your business. All of them are at the extreme, but the principle still stands. I'm not telling you that you need to wake up every day at 5 a.m. I don't. I'm not telling you to do a daily gym session. I don't. I'm not telling you to do 100 business calls every day. I don't. But what I am telling you to do is to find that one thing, because there is a massive ripple effect to this. Daily training genuinely will equal better sleep. You'll probably want to drink more water. You'll probably want to eat cleaner foods. And you're probably going to drink slightly less alcohol because you have realized how well your body can actually cope. Early wake ups generally tend to, because you have got more time, lead to perhaps more reading. Maybe you've got time for a morning run. Maybe you've got allowed that time to actually sit, meditate in the morning before anything else crosses your mind. And the energy from doing that and by prioritizing it will be the energy that you can carry forwards into the rest of your day. Business. You do 100 daily outreach calls. You create a pipeline. You build your confidence. You build your skills. And by doing that, it then leads to clients, customers, sales within your business. So, the law of 100. These are the rules that you need to apply. Okay. Choose one very specific action. Choose one. To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter what that one thing is, as long as you actually choose one thing. So choose that one thing, choose it wisely, but just choose one thing. Okay, if you spend the next 100 days trying to figure out what that one thing is, it's going to be completely pointless. If you do that one thing every single day for the next 100 days, not Monday to Friday, every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and continue it, you're going to restructure your schedule as well to make it non-negotiable, because this is the number one thing that I see guys make the mistake of, is that they'll choose something that they want to do and they'll go, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do that, and then next minute you know they've forgotten about it, or their motivation drops, or they make up some random reason of why their time or their schedule doesn't allow for it, even though it does. Book it in your calendar. If you're not using a calendar, go and fucking use one. Disappear for 100 days. Now, this is something that takes a lot of balls, I'm going to be honest. And it may not be for everyone, but it is really, really important. And it's something that I've had to do. It's something that Aaron had to do. And it's something that most of my other clients actually go through as well. Now, I'm not saying to put on a magic cloak and never speak to anyone again. But what I'm saying is just simply distancing yourself from the people that don't drive you forwards is going to make a huge amount of difference. Minimizing your social life with the wrong people and social media, because that is just as damaging. In fact, I'd rather you go out to the pub, drink 5-6 pints every single night than I would you scroll for 6 hours on social media. Okay, there is a big impact of both. Keep family obligations, of course, but the more that you can cut out the noise everywhere else, the easier it is going to be for you to stick to your non-negotiable. Because the problem is, if you continue every single day to allow things into your life that don't generally serve you, don't allow you to move forwards, are constantly tempting you in the wrong directions, what kind of effect do you think that is probably going to have? Because me and you both know it's probably not going to be a positive thing. That's just the way that life goes, okay? And I said this the other day on my story. If you can remove all of the bad temptations, it then doesn't allow any bad decisions. And if you give yourself loads of good options, guess what? You're always going to make a good decision. Steinfeld's method, then. Don't break the chain. Okay. As soon as you break the chain, the whole thing resets. Now, if you've ever given 75 hard a go, you'll know that it resets. And it doesn't end until you complete the full 75 days consecutively. So, there's a few ways to go about this, okay? You could hang a big calendar on the wall, have 100 boxes on it, and tick them off every single day. Or you could note it down in a book. Or you could set it on your phone. Okay, there's 1,000,001 ways that you could go about it, but you need to have a visual of you ticking it off every single day. You want to create like a streak, and that streak will obviously reset if you do not stick to it. Do the daily work and then mark a big X or block it in or color it in once you have done it. Because a growing chain becomes addictive to protect it. The more that you can build on that chain, the easier it will be to have the motivation to continue to do it. Not only because you know that you can do it and that you know that you've done it before, but also because you don't want to fall back to square one. And that is very, very important. So having that visual is going to be a massive part of this. Your brain is a forest. Okay, that might sound a bit weird in effect, but let me explain. Old habits equal well-worn paths. Okay, they're easy to walk. If you're based in the UK, you've ever been to like a National Trust place, you'll know where thousands and thousands of people have walked. You'll know where people have taken thousands and thousands and thousands of actions. But guess what? The minute that you step off that walked path in a different direction, you get lost. You don't know where you're going. It's tougher to walk on. There might be brambles in the way. Okay? It's not easy. But that 100 days is that machete cutting down that new route for you. A new track. Until eventually it is an easy path. Neuroplasticity. Your brain adapts to constant repetitions. Every time that you repeat something, it fires up little neurons within your brain and creates that almost that subconscious mind, okay? We want everything that you're doing to just be subconscious, okay? We want you waking up in the morning at your time that you want to do subconsciously. You go for a shower subconsciously. The more and more and more that you can make your good habits a subconscious action, the easier it is going to be for you to allow yourself to progress and move forwards. Because your brain will adapt to them constant repetitions. But what it doesn't adapt to is a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this, a bit of that. You're just firing off all these little things within your brain all over the place, but none of them have got rigidity and solidity. They're not solidified. And why this works is success correlates with consistency, not geniusness. Okay? Compounding a slightly better you allows you to execute tomorrow's reps. This is where that subconscious mind comes in. Failure mostly happens when you give up. In fact, it only happens when you give up. Okay? If you stick with something and you never give up on it, you can never fail. Okay, there might be times where you move in a different direction. Okay, cool. Great. But you're still moving forwards. If you want to imagine life as a path as well, for example, you've got yourself your compass, right? If all you do is you walk north, okay, you'll get to your destination very, very quickly. Okay, given that your destination is over, your goals are at north, who you used to be is at south. Okay, all we want to do is make sure that you continue to walk north. And sometimes you might look away, you might take your foot off the gas, you might get distracted by something and you veer off a little bit, a little bit northeast or a little bit northwest. But as long as you're still heading north, that's what we want. What we don't want you happening is you go a little bit too much northeast, you end up at east, and before you know it, you're going to southeast and you're back to square one. We want to continue to move things north because north is your goal, north is your vision. So yes, it's not going to be a direct straight line, but we want to continue to move things forwards. And the only time that you'll ever head up south completely is when you give up and you go, fuck this. I know where I've just come from. I'm going back there. I'm going back there. I know that path. I can walk that path. I won't get lost. I'm going to go back there. But when you know that your vision is all the way over there, that is the important thing. The Chinese bamboo lesson. You might think, what, Finn, what the fuck are you going on about now? Water and care for years with no visible growth. Okay, this is the growth of bamboo. This is generally how it tends to happen. Okay, you water it, care to it for years, no visible growth at all, and then suddenly it multiplies, grows up to 80 foot within 6 weeks. Why? Because you've watered it and you cared for it for years. You see, your results often compound after a long, quiet building phase. And this isn't to say that, your miracles are going to come to life overnight. They probably won't, okay? Wake up, it's reality. But this is also why you probably see a lot on social media. Fucking hell, how's he got there in like 6 weeks, 6 months? He was only like what I'm doing now, like 6 months ago. But what you don't realise is that he's been watering and caring for that thing for years. And it's only been more recently that it's just skyrocketed. No magic fix, no magic pill. It's just because he's put in the reps. Oh, the bit I love, the excuses. Okay, here we go. My schedule won't allow it. Okay. Well, first off, let's see the schedule. Most people that say that don't actually have one, by the way. Redesign your day around that habit. Like, genuinely, the habit that you should be choosing should be that simple and that easy to do that there is absolutely no reason for you not to do it. It shouldn't take longer than 5-10 minutes. Okay? That's the kind of habits that we're talking about. And that will be your keystone. As long as you keep that one thing aligned in place, it'll make it very, very easy to continue to walk forwards. What if it doesn't actually work? What if it just doesn't work? Well, what if it does? What if it actually does work? You ever thought about that? Because action, when taken, can create results without belief. Okay? A big thing that people struggle with, though, is that they can't take that action if they don't believe in it. And this is something we're always constantly working on with my clients, because a lot of them, I'll be honest, they come to me and they don't believe in themselves. That's just the reality of where they are. Okay? They don't believe things are possible. They don't think things can happen. They don't believe that they can become that person. Many, many people go through this. But if you just take the actions, you don't ask questions, and you get that shit done, you'll be surprised what can actually happen. And then, once it happens, you've then got evidence that it does work, okay? You can't create evidence out of no results. Simple as that. And this isn't something that someone say, right? But it's something that happens a lot. Every single time something goes wrong, people just stop. That's it. Done. But then breakdowns are tests. The things that somebody has put in play because they're like, let's just see if this guy can get through it. Let's just see. Let's have a bit of fun here. Let's just throw that in there and just, well, we'll just see what happens. Why not? Bit of fun, right? And if you stop at that, it's only you that you're letting down. It's only your family that you're letting down. It's only your dreams that you're letting down. Nothing else is going to change, is it? But the truth is that breakdown, okay, and you getting through that and you becoming stronger because of it, usually precedes to breakthroughs. And not only that, but also gives you that lesson and that ability to push forwards in the future. So, simple action plan. Get your notepad out now. Decide one keystone habit that you want to focus on right now. And I want it to be something that you're not already prioritizing, okay? For example, if you're already right now smashing it in your fitness, okay? You're smashing it in your fitness. You're the best shape that you've ever been in. Never felt better, never been fitter, never been stronger, never been leaner. Okay? Don't put it as that. But what about your job? Is your job where you want it to be? Is your career where you want it to be? Is your business, perhaps if you want to go down that route and you want to start that, is that where you want it to be? Take one action every single day that will compound and work on that. Likewise, if right now your business is absolutely thriving and from an outside perspective, it looks like you're killing it, but inside, and when you take your top off and when you get home at night, you feel like a piece of shit, then I'd probably focus a little bit more on your fitness and do one action every single day that you're going to commit to that will help with your fitness. Okay? Keep it simple. Define that daily minimum as well. So you've chosen your keystone, okay, that you're going to focus on. Now we need to figure out what that daily minimum is going to be for you. It needs to be clear and it needs to be measurable. For example, if it was fitness, okay, could be as simple as drinking 4 liters a day of water, maybe with 2 electrolytes. That's your bare minimum. For other people, it might be doing a certain amount of steps each day, or it might be making sure that you do some form of training every single day. Whatever's going to work for you time wise, okay? Really, really important. If it's business, okay, perhaps it's that you post every single day for the next 100 days on your social medias. Or perhaps it's that you message or call a certain amount of people each day to grow your network and speak to people and offer people perhaps calls about your business or, offer them opportunities. Or if it's your focus and it's your mindset, perhaps it's either, reading 20 pages of a book to do with mindset every single day. Or maybe it's meditating, understanding yourself for 10, 20 minutes a day. Choose something like that. Commit to it to 100 consecutive days and track it in that chain that we talked about before. Really, really important. Then we want to make this easy, okay? We don't want this to be hard, mate. We want to remove them frictions. Okay. We want to know when them cues are in place that could send us a good way and a bad way. Okay. And we want to know which ones are them we want to surround ourselves more with. And you want to protect the time window with your life. Okay. Treat it like if you do not do that at that particular time, it's not going to happen. It's the end of the world. You could die tomorrow if you don't do it. Okay. That's how important this is. Like you would for a doctor's appointment or your, I don't know, perhaps you're meeting with your accountant, whatever it is, okay? It's that important. And this is the next stage that most people miss out when they try and go at it alone. Review it weekly. Tiny tweaks, same commitment, okay? Review what is working. Review how you've progressed. Review how it's helping you. What's it allowed you to understand? What are the feelings? What are the wins? What have you found tricky? What has almost stopped you from doing it? Understanding that on a weekly basis is really, really important. Because otherwise, you don't know how to make it easier for yourself in the long run. Okay, you've got 100 days of this. And the reason we're doing it for that 100 days is so that you can then do it for the next 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000, 10,000 million days. Okay, whatever. First 100 is really, really important. Okay, plug and play daily minimums. I gave you some before, but train for 30 minutes each day, 10K steps each day, protein to target hit every single day. Mindset, maybe it's 10 minutes meditation, 3 pages reading, similar stuff to what I just said. Maybe it's 100 outreach touches. Maybe it's ship one piece of content. Okay, I've literally just run through all of them already. Identity shift. Okay, this is vitally important. So do not click off the video yet. Okay, who you're becoming. Who are you becoming? Tell me. I'll pause. Tell me. Who are you becoming? Mate, that is fucking sick. That is sick. You're going to commit to that, right? Good. Good. And I hope you said yes. By day 100, that habit will feel natural. That path is paved. That machete has been out. We've cut down the brambles. It's not hard anymore. Keep the chain going. And then choose another keystone and build on it. Simple as that. And that is how we compound things into a life that you actually want to live. You know the one that you just told me? Yeah, that guy right there. So, decide today. Don't leave it till tomorrow. Don't leave it till next week. In fact, we're almost at the 30-minute mark. Give yourself a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to figure this out right now after this video. Imagine this video is 40 minutes long and you're going to watch it to the end, okay? Do it now, today. Protect your chain for the next 100 days. If you've got any questions about this, message me on Instagram at Finley Edwards Coach and I'll help you pick your keystone because I know it is tricky. Okay, it's one of the biggest things that people struggle with is choosing that one thing. Very, very important. And if you want to learn about working with me and how we allowed Aaron to drop 32 kilos within his first 6 months and take his business to over 6 figures, then there's a call link below as well. Hopefully this has helped. Well, if you implement it, it definitely will be, but hopefully you are going to implement it. And we're going to be uploading 2 times a week, every single week. Thursday, 6 p.m. and Tuesday, 6 p.m. from now on out. So stay tuned. We're going to be dropping lots of value. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you for listening.